why don't you come in, see my studio? I'm right here in downtown Amherst. We've got a great big studio. It's fun. I'll take you into my personal little studio too. So the bells ring when you come in, and we know you're here, and we just welcome you. I just want you to know that you're welcome to visit this place. We're in Nova Scotia, Canada, and the first thing that you'll see are my books. And I've hooked lots of rugs, and I've written lots of books about them. I've written 5 or 6 books. One of them I've written 7 books actually. One of them I illustrated by the author Sherry Fitch, and I illustrated it for her. Simply Modern is a great book about contemporary designs for hooked rugs, like something like that here. We have all kinds of yarn. This is our palette, our own palette from Briggs and Little. We always have our own colors. And in this area here, you can see that we'll suggest like this is for deep sea, this is for big blue sky, this is for poppies and geraniums, or so we'll have areas of baskets. This is our sari ribbon. Isn't it gorgeous? Like, look at it. I mean, doesn't it make you want to hook rugs? It does me. I know that every time I see it. We carry lichen and lace yarn right here, and that's hand dyed in Sackville, New Brunswick. We carry lots of fleece artists, curly locks. I'll show you more of that. We also carry some supplies for felting wool, and sometimes I use fleece in my hooked rugs. I'm just going to let you peek in our messy dye kitchen. Come on in. This is really Logan works in here, and this is our dye kitchen, and we dye some walls in here. Get the pretty parts, Angela. Sorry. It's a bit messy sometimes. So I've been hooking rugs. This little poster right here is from the New Brunswick Museum in 1997. I had a show of called Hook Mats, 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, and it was at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. And it was also, it traveled around to the rooms in Newfoundland and to the New Brunswick Museum. So I've been at this for quite a little while, I can tell you. We're going to just walk through here. This is Logan's hand dyes in the studio right here. We dye all of these wools here. Here's a selection of our kits. Can you give them a pan of the kit wall, because I think it's so pretty. And then over here are just some of our patterns that we have available on our website. And then over here are just original hooked rugs. This is Patricia and John. You've met them. I don't know if you've met them already, or you'll meet them again in another video as part of the series. So here, what I do is I also make one-of-a-kind hooked rugs. I think I do 2 things. I try to work as an artist and a writer, and then I have a business where we're making kits and supplies, and it helps me just make rugs that I just feel are beautiful, and just whatever inspires me. And I'll show you where I do that. So back here, in this little area, we usually have some one-of-a-kind patterns like that I just hand draw. And I always like to have something that, you know, is special, so that if you get here to the studio, or if you see it online, you know, if you see us like today, if you saw it and you called us kind of thing, but these ones will probably be gone by the time you see that, because those are always changing. This group of rugs that I have right here are all about sort of this group and that group are all about sort of laying down on the grass and looking out at the ocean through the plants. So those are my originals. This is Greg, and now what are you making now, Greg? You're making.
I'm making patterns for kits.
For the sunflower.
That's the sunflower.
The beginning sunflower, yeah. So Greg is retired and works here with us. And I used to say he was my friend's wife, but now I'm supposed to say he's my friend too, right? But we've known each other for years, and he came to work with us about a year ago. These are all neutral, so sometimes I change how I work, and I like to work in different palettes. This was kind of a neutral phase that I went through, and you can do that with hooking rugs. You can just choose your palette and get the wool and get going. Logan, do you have a dye bath? Oh, this is my little, we joke and say this is my shrine, yeah. But anyways, all the different magazines that we've appeared in, the studio has appeared in. You can see Chatelaine, you can see the Halifax Herald, you can see the Globe and Mail here somewhere. I think it's up here somewhere. There it is. Up. That's the Toronto Star. There it is, the Globe, Life and Arts. We were in the Globe and Mail. We were in Piecework magazine. We were in Uppercase magazine, Taproot. And so you can see I've saved all of those because it was really important to me when someone acknowledged my work. And so they make fun of me here for this little walk. This is a favorite wall because Greg just put up new flat wall, and it's gorgeous. I love it. It is our Briggs and Little wall. So this mixes our palette with Briggs and Little's own palette, and we just put every color that we get here. Logan, what did you dye today?
I dyed some teal, I dyed some gold, and some light blue, and now I'm about to dye some green.
Oh, I love this teal. Is this for anything special, or?
It's for the floor.
It's for the floor.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Logan does wool box, don't you, Logan? You curate wool box every month.
Yeah, so what I do is I look at a picture that's supplied to me by Deanne, and I dye based on the image and collect a series of yarns as well as dyeing some yarns.
Yeah.
For it.
It's really, she does a really gorgeous job. Okay. And she really does. And so this is all our wool ready to be dyed. Susan, who worked with us, tore that up last week. Here's a little rug that I'm not that crazy about. Because every rug you make isn't, you don't love it as much as others, but it has a warmth to it, I guess. Come on in here. So now this is the back room. And I just want to show you one sign that I think is really important. And it says, storm the kettle. Help yourself to tea, coffee, milk is in the fridge, herbal teas are in the drawers, and we mean it. We have a little tea kitchen here, and if there's coffee on or if there's tea on, you're welcome to help yourself. So we just want, we want this place to be hospitable, really. So when I moved my studio in town, I really wanted to, make sure that it still felt homey. So this little area, we took over, 8 or 9 years ago, and it's where I host my workshops. And this rug here is called Grace, Mercy, and Peace, and it is a portrait of my mother. So that is a rug that is not for sale, and I keep it here, and it just kind of reminds me every day of my mama, who's been gone for a long, long time now. So this is our tea kitchen. These are our tables for our work tables, and also for our work tables, and also for our workshops. And this is our East Coast road trip. So this is a palette that we have the fleece artist dye for us. And Logan dyes the cloth right here. And then this little area, I don't know what happens here. This is where I do my videos and stuff for our online courses sometimes. And we do we have an amazing online course called The Harbor that leads you towards creativity in rug hooking and art and design. And this rug right here is a favorite of mine because I live in Cumberland County, and Cumberland County is full of blueberry fields. And in fact, one of my best friends and in the community, that's what they do, is they grow blueberries. And so I love this rug. I love the red fields. So as soon as the frosts touch the blueberries in November, the fields around here turn this gorgeous shade of red, and it's just full of color. And I don't know. So I hook. Some designs I just can't get out of my heart, and I often hook blueberry fields over and over again because I love the way they look. Now I'm going to take you into my little studio where I hook rugs. Follow me in here. And this is my little space right here. So I usually have my computer right there, and right now I'm going to sew this onto my Shedicamp frame. So a Shedicamp frame works basically like this. This is the frame that I use. As soon as I got this frame, it was a game changer for me. I realized that I could hook so much faster. A lot of people don't start with a frame like this, but some people do. I'm just going to pull out some needle and thread and just show you how that works. Do I have a needle and thread here, or am I just kidding myself? Oh, there we go. The thread's over behind you, Angela. Oh, excuse me. So in these videos, I'll be hooking on a Shedicamp frame, and I'll show you how it's done. What I really want to show you today is just basically how this operates. And we will have another video on frames. But basically, with a Shedicamp frame, I can put on a really large rug if I want to. Like I can draw a huge pattern on the floor. And I can put on a really, really big rug. And I can roll it. Sorry, Angela. I know this is hard to film, me dancing around. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what I think is important about hooking rugs. Can I get that without, there we go, I got it, okay. So, what I love about hooking rugs is that, first of all, it's expressive. It is an opportunity to show what's on your mind, what ideas you have, but also I mean, that's what comes later when you're hooking rugs. In the beginning, it's about sitting down with yourself, taking a few minutes for yourself. So this is already sewn on this end, and this is linen that I'm working on right here. And I'm gonna put that together, fold it over, put it together, and I'm just gonna hand sew it with a loose stitch. So in the beginning, hooking rugs is a beautiful chance for you to get away from technology, to get away from answering your emails, to spend time with yourself, to take time out for yourself, to gives you time, I think, to think. And I'm gonna show you when I hook right here, the meditative quality that's involved in hooking rugs, because doing the same thing over and over again, hand over hand, thought over thought, you know, keeping your mind in the moment is a really, really positive, wonderful experience. I wish I could sew this faster so I could get at the hooking, because now, you know what's happening now, right now with me, is I'm getting really excited about drawing something on here that I'm going to hook. And that's what happens to me, is I'll get really excited about doing some things for my work. And if I'm really like in work mode, I lost that thread, there we go. If I'm really in work mode, like business mode, trying to make the website better, all of that, you know what's dangerous? If I start to hook a rug. Because when I start to hook a rug, I'm just like committed to it. And all I want to do is hook that rug. So that's the wonderful thing about hooking, is that it takes you and carries you into this beautiful place that's about art and creativity and making. So I started hooking rugs years ago when I was working as a counselor and a therapist. And one of the things that I found about it was that it relieved a lot of stress for me. It was like a place to go, a place that would let me just relax. And there are so few crafts that don't require anything. Like all this requires is a hook, a piece of linen, a piece of burlap, some wool cloth, some wool yarn, and a frame of some sort. And you don't have to have a big fancy frame like this. You can have a very simple frame, like the hoops I've showed you in other videos for this course. All right, we're almost there. How do you find it as a meditative craft, Angela?
It's great, especially once you get going and you're starting to see something develop, and you get excited.
Yes.
And just the repetitiveness of it is so relaxing.
I think one of the things that's happening in today's world is that a lot of our work is not like tactile. We don't see results from it right away. Like it just sort of happens slowly, and it's sort of like a lot of us are working on a computer, or we're doing things. So this is sewn on both ends, and basically what I'm going to do, and what rug hooking does, is it gives you something tactile. When you're finished, you actually have that beautiful rug. I'm going to show you about finishing rugs in a little bit too for this series. So you just take it and you roll it along, and you use these gears to tighten it up on both ends. It's so great. Oh, it's going to be so taut and so nice. I can hook here forever. One of the things you'll want to know about is how do you cut your wool into strips? Well, you can buy a cutter, and they're expensive. We don't sell them. I recommend the Bolivar cutter, and you can Google Mr. Bolivar. Or there's a lot of good cutters out there. That's what I use. And I take my wool and I fold it like this. And then I cut it into strips like that. So this is jersey. Now a piece like this, same, that's wool cloth. Take it. The strips do not have to be perfectly even. It won't matter. They just have to be, I would make them somewhat straight, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Then you take that strip. I'm going to show you the technique again because it's one stitch. I keep wanting to remind you of that. It's so easy. Okay, you put your strip down. Just like that. And this is a tweed cloth. Move that so you can see the end come up. There you go. Just like that. And when you're done, clip the ends off. So this blank canvas is before me, and I'm going to draw something on it and soon and start hooking. And who knows what it will be. See you.